After 3 summer heat waves already and the temperatures set to rise again, we've been asking Londoners here in Regent's Park how they've been adapting to climate change.
And the London photographer whose pictures make headlines. We hear from the man behind the lens. Two survivors who also lost loved ones in the Grenfell fire have been to the United States, they say, to raise awareness about the role of the American company behind the flammable cladding put on the tower. The public inquiry found cladding was the primary cause of the fire's rapid spread. The billion-dollar steel company Arconic, whose headquarters are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, have always denied doing anything illegal. Aisha Baksh caught up with the survivors on their return from the US, and you might find some of the details in her report upsetting.
It's about a company that's around the corner, Arconic. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Within 20 minutes, all those people inside the tower, we got rescued by the firefighters.
The building went up in flames in 20 minutes. The whole of that, look at that building.
In downtown Pittsburgh, survivors of the Grenfell Tower fire speak to locals. Known as the Steel City of Pennsylvania, it's also the home of Arconic, a global company and local employer. Their cladding was used on Grenfell Tower. It was made of sheets of aluminium with plastic in the middle. Nick Burton was rescued from the 19th floor with his wife of 30 years, Pilly. She then sadly suffered a stroke, and when she died, became the 72nd victim of the fire.
For all these years, it's gone really quiet. You know, they're going about their business, they're making record profits, and we just need to make sure, to give them a wake-up call to say that we're still here.
Marcio Gomes escaped from the 21st floor with his 2 young daughters and his then wife, who was heavily pregnant. The baby son she was carrying, who they called Logan, was sadly stillborn, while she was still in a coma.
It was emotional, knowing Arconic. It's where their headquarters. So there was a lot of anger, rage, but also power and strength to actually, I need to be able to do something here.
Along with friend and local campaigner Moyra Samuels, Nick and Marcio wanted to go directly to the home of Arconic, they say, as a show of strength and to educate local people.
The reception was really, really welcoming, and, people were wanting to listen. We didn't get any negative responses. So that's very hopeful, I think.
If that was a high-rise here and killed one of these men and women, there would people be arrested most likely.
And the group also met local firefighters from the Pittsburgh Fire Department.
They knew everything about Grenfell. They did studies on Grenfell, they did studies on the cladding. They knew, I think they probably knew more than what our own fire service here know or knew at the time.
The group worked with Pittsburgh-based filmmaker and journalist Chris Ivey. He's been documenting the Grenfell Justice campaign for many years and highlighting Arconic's role locally. I caught up with him in London shortly after the 8th anniversary last month.
They keep Grenfell very quiet in Pittsburgh. And even when I try to talk to politicians about it and stuff, they hear it, but they don't respond. But now that I'm bringing awareness to it, they said, well, we didn't know about this. Well, they didn't want you to know about it. And they've been really good by keeping it secret for all this long.
Arconic refuted this suggestion and told the BBC they've made several public statements about Grenfell, which were also made available to their local employees. The Grenfell Tower public inquiry concluded Arconic promoted and sold their product knowing it presented a significant danger. But the company has long rejected claims their cladding was unsafe and insisted they didn't conceal information. Their lawyers told the inquiry other companies were to blame for the installation and use of their product on Grenfell Tower. Well, there were other companies involved in the refurbishment of Grenfell Tower, but the public inquiry concluded that the cladding was the primary cause of the rapid spread of the fire. Over the recent 8th anniversary, Arconic said in a statement that they had made financial contributions to those affected and they fully engage with the ongoing legal process. The group's trip ended with a video projection of flames against the outside of Arconic's headquarters and a hope for some closure in the future.
It looks so real. You know, we would never want to burn their building down, you know, I have to make that clear. You know, but to look upon their building and see the flames or the projection, it was very emotional.
Someone in the organisation is going to have to be prosecuted, and that will bring us some sense of justice and some sense of healing and some sense of peace.
Arconic told BBC London American executives were not responsible for products, process, markets and certifications. Grenfell's bereaved and survivors, however, believe the company at home and abroad needs to be made more accountable. Aisha Baksh, BBC London.
OK, let me bring you a brief look at some of the other stories in and around the capital.